This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A judgy blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I don't know if there is a better way to start A's Cast Live than have Lawrence Butler sitting right next to me. If you're able to watch on YouTube or Twitter, or you're listening on the A's Radio Network or on A's Cast, especially Talk 650 KSTE in Sacramento, what a treat. It is great to have you on. Now, as a 2020 guy, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad you guys, invited me to come back. I love A's Cast.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so proud of you to think about being a Roberto Clemente nominee at your age, and everything you've done back home in Georgia, what you've done here in Northern California. You should be very proud of. What was it like when they said you're getting the nominee? That's heavy stuff.
I mean, I was kind of shook at first because, that's a real prestigious award. They just don't give that out to anybody. You got to be a good person on and off the field. So, I'm just glad, the A's and, everybody recognizes that. I try my best to, just be a good leader and just try to help the community.
Well, in your upbringing, so many people made the effort for you, and you understand that, and you're giving back. Yeah. So just tell us, what does that mean, whether it's here in Sacramento, anywhere in Northern California, what you did in Oakland, and, of course, everything you do in the Atlanta area in Georgia, that it's very important. People gave to you, and it's your turn to give back.
I mean, I learned from some of the best. Marquise Grissom, Luke Collier. I mean, a lot of those guys, they just always, just wanted to pour into, their communities. And, I was a part of their communities. And, they made a lot of good ball players with the work they've been doing. So, I just try to take a page out of their book and just do the same, for my community and just really any community that I'm living in the moment. So like you said, Atlanta, North California, and, no matter where I'm at, I just want to, just help kids and help the community, just try to grow the game.
And then I think about tomorrow, you will be presented, if it hasn't been basically being announced right now on this show, that you will be the winner of the recipient of the Dave Stewart Award.
For real?
Which, you didn't know that?
Ah, that's crazy.
We're breaking news right here with
Dave.
Lawrence Butler.
Dave, my guy, too. I love Stu. He the man. So
think about that. Roberto Clemente, who gave his life trying to help people, and then somebody who, as much as we love Dave Stewart for what he did as an A's Hall of Famer, what Dave Stewart has done for so many different people, there's a reason he has that award. He won the Roberto Clemente Award, which Dave Stewart said is still the highlight of his career. We've talked a lot to him about that. But tomorrow you're going to receive the Dave Stewart Award. Dave Stewart will be here, and he will present that award to you.
That's what's up, man. I talked to Dave. I would say this spring training, I'll probably talk to Dave more than I've ever have. I go to his house multiple times. I was at his house a lot of times. I just been able to, build a relationship with him. And, he's been able to help me with a lot of things that I've been going through, baseball, on non-baseball. So, that's going to be a really cool moment.
Yeah, Dave Stewart, you talk about the ultimate baseball life. When you talk about a player, the ups, the downs, the greatness of his career, he had the struggles in his career. Then you start thinking about Dave Stewart, who was a agent. He was a pitching coach on a World Series team.
He done did it all.
Then he was a GM. He was assistant GM. So when he's done it all, I can see why someone like yourself, why would you not pick his brain? He's had one of the most amazing baseball lives, and hopefully at some point will be a baseball owner.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. I mean, he's a baseball guru. He knows everything. He's a player first too. So, he's always going to think of, the players and what's best for the players, but also, have that business mentality of, baseball is a business. So, I mean, he's just a great person to talk to. Anytime I get a chance to, ask him questions or pick his brain, I do.
When we start celebrating these awards, and it's being announced today that Nick Kurtz will be the Baseball America Rookie of the Year for them. Obviously, he's going to win Rookie of the Year. They've stopped taking bets in Vegas. They've taken it off the board. these players, especially now younger guys than you, it means a lot. The way you came up in this organization, you were drafted, you're raised in this organization. A lot of people look to you for leadership. Just how proud are you? Hard to believe we're kind of calling you more of a little bit of a veteran guy, but how proud are you of the younger guys, the way they've performed?
I mean, it really means a lot to me because, I mean, this is kind of, as a player getting drafted to an organization, this is kind of what you dream of, being able to kind of just, build something with that organization. And I feel like that's what me and the young crew have done, in I want to say it was 2023, where, me and Geloff kind of started the little new Oakland thing. And, it's becoming just bigger than what we sought it out to be. So, I mean, just to see the young guys come up here and just make an impact, everybody embracing them, Kai's embracing them, the rest of the team embracing them, and, just being able to make them feel comfortable at the big league level where, a lot of young guys don't feel comfortable. They feel like they kind of scared to ask questions, scared to mess up. We're just trying to make them feel comfortable so, they can perform the best on the field. So it means a lot.
When you think about Kurtz and Wilson, how much have you watched them progress just when we talk about more than just baseball, when we talk about off the field and just growing as people?
Yeah, they're growing up right before our eyes. They're like the kids of the team. Everybody's their dad or their uncle. Just trying to help them become young men. I mean, because they're young. Kurtz was in college last year, and Jacob was in college 2 years ago. And now they're big league ball players making an impact and elite big league ball players. So just to watch them grow up and just to become young men and just become the great players on and off the field that they're becoming it's amazing. That means Jacob about to get married this offseason. I'm going to attend the wedding. So, that'll just be cool to see.
You got to get up and give a speech.
Should I? I don't know.
Yeah.
He ain't asked me to get no speech, but I might.
You're going to have to.
I might just say F it and get up there and just say something. Just embarrass him.
You know how good that look on the wedding video?
That would look cool.
People will never forget that.
Oh, you got to remember Butler. Yeah. That would be cool.
I mean, it was a long time ago when I got married. I would have loved for you to get up and talk at my wedding. That'd be incredible.
I might get up there and say a few words for him.
I'm going to give you a guy that it's funny we don't talk about that much. I try and talk about him as much as possible, and I know he means a lot to you. And he's not crazy. He's not bat flipping. He's not drawing attention to himself. But the year that he has had is just amazing. It's Tyler Soderstrom.
I mean,
consistency. The consistency has been unbelievable.
I say T. Sody's my dog. He probably my best friend on the team. I played with him through every level, coming up through the minor leagues. So just to see what he went through last year and in 23, with the big league struggles, to see what he's done this year is just it's been amazing. I mean, I've watched him work harder than a lot of people on our team, and it's paying off for him. And I'm just glad to see the success that he's having. Because he's a hard worker. He's a great baseball player. I've known it. Pretty sure everybody in the organization known it. That's why they keep giving him chances. And I mean, he's proven it right. So I mean, Sody's just having an amazing year. I mean, he's done it all season long too. So. And
talk about that journey when you have a buddy like that, where you guys grinded some bad hotels, some long bus rides, level after level after level. You've played a lot of baseball with him.
Yeah. I mean, 10-hour bus rides, 12-hour bus rides. I mean, terrible spreads before and after the game,
fast food,
terrible locker rooms. I mean, it's just a surreal moment, full circle moment, to just see one of the guys you grinded with in the minor leagues every day with to, living the big league lifestyle every day with. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a great feeling.
I know you don't need me to say this because you're going to say, of course I can play center field, but I've talked a lot about how you've manned up when center field was an issue and Denzel Clark came in and everything seemed great. And then all of a sudden he got hurt. Somebody had to man the position every single day. We talked to Mark Kotze about this. He knows, like, when you play center field, you're running more than ever.
Yeah.
You are running more than ever. There's a lot of grind on you, and people expect a lot out of you on the bases and offensively. You've manned up big time saying, you know what, I'll take center field, and I'll take it now for the rest of the year. Did you have talks with people about it, or you just said, you know what, I got this?
No, I've played it in the minor leagues, and I would say that's probably my favorite position to play in the outfield, but Denzel's just a freak out there. So I mean, if he's not playing it, I don't want nobody else playing it other than me. So he's the only one I give the reins to go patrol center other than me. So I mean, I kind of was hoping Kate would let me play it every day when Denzel got hurt, because that's kind of where I wanted to play. So I'm just glad he gave me the opportunity, and I just hope I can fulfill his needs and the team's needs to help us win games.
This is the last time we're going to talk.
Yep. Till next
and
year.
it's over.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. You know,
Yeah.
we might want to track you down when we're at the winter meetings in Orlando, because someday, I hope I'm not retired by then.
Mhm.
Someday you and I will do television together.
That would be amazing.
We will
That'd
do
be
television
amazing.
together. I guarantee you that. What are the plans for the off season?
For sure, I'm gonna go relax. You know, right off the off season, play some golf with my buddies back home. You know, I'm not a big golfer until it's the off season, so I'm gonna play some golf, explore. You know, go on some trips, just see some things. A couple of the teammates' weddings I'm gonna attend. So, you know, I got some stuff in store for the off season, but for the most part, just relax. You know, just get my body feeling right.
When are we going to get the? You launched. I guess we don't call them albums anymore. You launched a record. What do we call it?
It's like, I mean, you could mixtape, tape, album,
a collaboration,
collab. Yeah, I mean, hopefully,
when are we going to get our hands on?
So Victor Scott is one of our buddies that raps. He's actually dropped, I want to say, a couple tapes. So I want to say this offseason, me, him, Chandler Simpson, and Marquise Grissom Jr. should be dropping a tape together, or at least one of us will drop a tape and all of us will be on it. So y'all should be seeing that this off season, because we're going to for sure go to the studio and make a lot of music. What
is your strength when it comes to music? What are you best at?
I'm a punch guy. So that means like I like to punch in. Like I'm not a writer. Like I don't like to write my stuff and go in there and say it. I kind of like to just think of it as I go and then say it.
More of a freestyle?
More of a freestyle type of rap. So that's kind of where I feel like I do best at, is like just kind of punching in and just going on whatever comes to my head at the time.
So let the other guys do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just come in and be Lawrence Butler.
Exactly. And it'll be like sometimes where I just go into like a flow state, or where it's just coming off easily, and I can just like go on for a minute.
We want to air it here on A's Cast.
All right, I got you. We're gonna make some good music this offseason for y'all to put on A's Cast, for the fans to see.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have a great offseason, but once again, really proud of you.
Thank you.
When it's one thing, Lawrence is 2020 and all that stuff's great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you get nominated for the Roberto Clemente Award, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
When you get the Dave Stewart Award, that's a big deal. That means you're helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Far greater than anything you do on a baseball field is to help people with what you have, and you've understood that. And it just shows you, we think of like what Tony Kemp did here for years, Liam Hendricks, what he did here for years, Dave Stewart. You have the ability to do that and help people in your community for a long, long time. That's something special. Yeah. Cherish that. That's something really cool.
I really appreciate that, Towny.
The great Lawrence Butler. You have a good offseason, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Lawrence Butler, you're good to go, my friend.
Thank you.
Lawrence Butler, you'll see it tomorrow as Dave Stewart will be here, and he will get the Dave Stewart Award. We'll be calling you this offseason. And Lawrence Butler, a 2020. Oh, by the way, I hate to tell you, I've put it out there already. My expectations for next year is 30-30. Oh, he's saying 40-40. Okay, then I'm not off. I'm just saying 30-30. He's going Jose Canseco, 40-40. Can you turn my headphones up just a little bit?
But last time
there you go.
Last time I put expectations like that on someone, that was Shea Langoliers being 2020, and I'm still waiting for it.
Okay, when you put 20 stolen bases on Shea Langoliers that 1 year, didn't he have like 2 stolen bases the entire year?
That is correct, yes.
You were dramatically off.
Well, it's okay.
Hello, Commander. How are you?
I'm good. I must say thanks for having me, but, well, I was already here, so you didn't really have me.
You've been here all day.
I've been here all day, yes.
So we're going to have Scott Emerson, our last Scott Emerson.
I know. It's pretty crazy, right?
It's sad.
Well, we'll do – spoiler, we may have him on during the World Series. I've already talked to him.
Okay, yeah.
I talked to his people.
Our last of the season, right? And Scott Emerson, if you guys know, I hope you understand as A's fans that we are so lucky that the manager, the pitching coach, Darren Bush is super busy during the day. So the fact that when we got him earlier this year was fantastic. But it's easier for a pitching coach. But the fact that we can get the coaching staff and them to come up here at any point, we are so lucky, because most teams, you don't get that. The availability that we have with these guys is unbelievable.
I threw this out to Greg Horn, and because we're going to play something here in a minute from Baseball America about Nick Kurtz. But I said, maybe we should have Bobby Crosby on Friday, because he is our last position player to win Rookie of the Year. And that was 21 seasons ago, which would be kind of cool tying it. I know. I know Andrew Bailey won it as a reliever, but position player was Bobby Crosby in 2004. That's how long it's been.
Did I tell you what happened to me at NBC while you were gone?
No.
How a girl said hello to me and wanted to introduce. I'm in a sorority with your daughters.
I was sitting at the.
What?
I was sitting at the ballpark. We were referred to a concert. It was in Pittsburgh. I was at PNC and there were girls telling me.
What? I used to walk in. I didn't have kids. Now I got people working there who are in a sorority.
We're hanging out with your daughters.
Thank you, Chris Carey. It was 21 years ago. Bobby Crosby was Rookie of the Year.
2004. That was my first year of high school.
Oh my God!
First year of high school. I wasn't even married then. For the first time.
What year was it? What did you say?
04.
04?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. You want more breaking news? So we just broke the news that Lawrence Butler is. We already knew about the Roberto Clemente Award winner nominee. Lawrence Butler, the Dave Stewart Award winner. Now, Baseball America is announcing, and we're breaking it here right on the show with Jesus Cano from Baseball America. Baseball America's Rookie of the Year is now joining us here on A's Cast Live. Jesus Cano from Baseball America. Man, it was just like yesterday you were here with me on set.
I know. It's crazy how time flies. We have a week left into the season, just getting through instructionally before the Arizona Fall League comes out, and lots of good stuff going on, man, but I'm always excited to be here with you guys. Now, when you were here, you had a lot of family here. Did they have a great time? Oh, yeah, they did have a great time. I mean, we grew up going to A's games, nonstop when I was a kid, and then to have them for the first time in Sacramento, that was really fun. That was a really special moment, too, just being on, obviously talking with you and then seeing my grandma and my mom and my sister make their way to the background. That's why I was looking a little bit, but I was so happy to have them there, man. That was a really special day, and I'm just, happy that I was able to have them there. That really meant a lot to me. No doubt about it. That was fun. But we have a big reveal today. I know the season's not over yet, but we have a huge reveal. Baseball America is making the announcement. You're going to be able to buy the issue coming up here soon. But the big announcement is what? Well, thanks so much, Chris. And yeah, on behalf of Baseball America, I'm happy to announce, and really, this should come as no surprise, and it certainly won't be the last time you hear something like this in the coming months. But we can reveal exclusively that A's first baseman Nick Kurtz has been selected as Baseball America's MLB Rookie of the Year for 2025. And when you look at it, man, it wasn't even close. His monstrous rookie season made the decision easy, and his ascension is a tribute to the athletic scouting team who never wavered in their conviction when they put him at the top of their draft board a full year before drafting them 4th overall and promoting him to the big leagues within less than a year, And I mean, you look at the numbers that he was able to put up. As of right now, 291, 383, 612 slash line with 33 home runs, 81 RBIs, 995 OPS, along with being the first rookie to have a 4-homer game, and then also having that massive 493-foot homer shot that was the longest in MLB this season. And yeah, congratulations to A's first baseman Nick Kurtz on being, selected for the award. You can read all about Kurtz in our upcoming October issue, along with stories about our minor league player of the year, the Pirates' Connor Griffin, our minor league pitcher of the year, the Mets' Jonah Tong, and our major league player of the year, which BA will be announcing in the coming weeks, plus our minor league players of the year from all 30 organizations, and much, much more. The October issue is available for pre-order right now at Baseball America right now, and get your copy now and secure a piece of A's history, because this is really, truly a piece of A's history going out there right now. No doubt about it. Once again, the October issue is available for pre-order right now, A's fans. BaseballAmerica.com. Get your copy now to secure this piece of history. Put it up there again, Cody. It's a beautiful cover. I mean, this is the kind of thing, yes, you want to have it, you want to read it, but what this kid could be, what we think he is going to be, this is something that you take, hopefully you get it signed, you frame it, and you put it on the wall, because 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we could be talking about a superstar career. We could be talking about, and I'll go this far, you get like a Hall of Fame career where a guy has a statue in Las Vegas. He could be one of those type guys. He is a very, very special player. You guys have been tracking him ever since his days in Wake Forest, and he just has not disappointed. And to just paint it into perspective, Chris, how much of a piece of A's history this is. I know I have Lawrence Butler here in the back. He was the wrap piece for the draft edition. But Nick Kurtz is the first A's players on the cover since 2016. He's also the first A's player to become Baseball America's Rookie of the Year since Houston Street won the award in 2005. And really, it's just a special piece. I mean, you mention it, you read it, you get the cover of it. There's actually a fantastic story written about Kurtz that I wrote myself that really encapsulates, just the amount of, what he means to the organization, what he means to the fans, and just overall the direction that this team is heading to as they embark in this new season, heading to Las Vegas as the stadium's being built right now. There's a lot of excitement around this, and you want to own a piece of A's history and maybe hang it in the background similar to have this one over here. It'd look really nice no matter what it is. And you mentioned it, in 15 years from now, I mean, you could be talking about a Hall of Fame career, carrying back to his prospect days.
Cody, get your credit card out and start ordering us a couple of copies. I want a copy of this. This could be absolute history. When you wrote that article, kind of give us an idea. So you're going to have an article in this edition. What was it about Kurtz?
Well, when talking about Kurtz specifically, like we've talked about it in the past, I grew up in the East Bay, grew up going to a lot of A's games, grew up a fan of the team, obviously from a reporting standpoint, objective. But in talking about the story specifically, when I think about that 4-homer game, I think about just everything encapsulated that have been happening to the team, right? All the external noise going on about the team relocating and all that stuff. Very few people are able to control what's going on at the top. But what's being played on the field, what's happening from the A's player development, what's happening from A's player scouting, and everything that's been going on to put up a product on the field. I think when you saw what Kurtz was able to do, mixed in with what's been able to go on with the rest of the players too, like Brent Rooker, like Lawrence Butler, like Shea Langoliers, like Jacob Wilson. I mean, we're naming a lot of players that are contributing to this team, and I think that there should be a lot of excitement surrounding this team, regardless of where they're playing, and I think when you see everything that the team's gone through the past couple of years, what we're seeing on the field right now is truly, truly special. And I think that a lot of times, that there's a lot of stuff with this organization that's clouded with the move and everything going on. But I think it's about time people start paying attention to what's happening on the field right now, how bright the future's looking right now, how exciting this team's going to be playing next year in West Sacramento, how exciting this team's going to be when they arrive to Las Vegas. I think there's a lot to be looking forward to. And I hope I was able to paint that picture with the story that's be written about. No doubt about it. And, it's funny when we always talked about a comp. We're trying to find comps, right? It's Jim Thome. It was, the guy, and unfortunately he hasn't been here for the Astros, and he hasn't been with them down the stretch. One of the reasons why they're having this epic collapse. A good comp for him might be Yordan Alvarez. Another comp I've heard from a couple other scouts, too, that watched him play, and you can see it in the way, he hits the balls in all directions with power, but also Dodgers first baseman Freddie Freeman. I think there's a lot of similarities in the way that they played the game. They're a good high-contact guy. Also a guy that's going to hit a little bit for more power. So, I mean, when you're mentioning guys like Yordan Alvarez, Jim Thome, Freddie Freeman, whatever comp that is, being in the same breath as those guys, I mean, that's really, really impressive regardless of what it is. That's a great point. It's like, well, you take any of those guys, it's a great career. All of them, you're looking at guys. I don't know if Yordan Alvarez, Freddie Freeman will get into the Baseball Hall of Fame someday. So if you're compared to any of the Hall of Famers, it's not a bad idea. Absolutely, 100%. And I mean, if this is just a small sample of what to come, it's going to be interesting to see, now that Kurtz has a full season of seeing professional baseball, playing the game, seeing what to work on, and just, growing into his body more. We forget that he's 22 years old and he's already massive as he is. There's still a little bit of room for him to grow, and it's going to be crazy to see what he does, not just next year, but in year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, how long he goes for of his career. And that's exactly, with the cover right there, it's truly an A+ to what the A's have been able to do, not just with him, but just with the farm system, scouting, and everything has been going their way. In 2026, I think this team's going to surprise a lot of people. And let's not forget Jacob Wilson, who at one point was the front runner for the Rookie of the Year. He still has an outside chance at the American League batting title. Let's just end on this. Your thoughts on the first year of Jacob Wilson as shortstop? Obviously, when the voting is all done, he'll be either 2 or 3. Well, I think first of all, I actually spoke to Jacob Wilson not too long ago when I was in Sacramento, just going over what he was doing, everything that's going well. And I think the big thing for him too, it wasn't just with Wilson too, but it's also with Kurtz, is that the A's are allowing these players to be themselves. A lot of people that come, some player development organizations come in and try to fix players. The A's are allowing these players to be themselves. And when you have a guy with a profile like Jacob Wilson, who is elite bat-to-ball skills, aggressive in the count, is going to make contact with the ball, put the ball in play, and give your chances to win. I think it's a really good position for him to be in. We've seen what he was able to do consistently, started the All-Star game this year, and really, like you mentioned, still has a chance to win the batting title against a guy like Aaron Judge, who is going to be a Hall of Famer at some point in just his first full year of professional baseball. And I think there's going to be a lot of excitement to go up there at the top of the A's order, whatever they decide to do with the lineup. I think the future is looking really bright, not just for Jacob Wilson, for Nick Kurtz, but I think the entire organization as a whole.
Remember, A's fans, the October issue is available for pre-order right now at baseballamerica.com. Get your copy now and secure a piece of athletics history. After this, you get fired up for the postseason, but then you got Arizona Fall League.
We do. We got Arizona Fall League. We still have a little bit of instructional league going on, and I'm actually going to the AAA National Championship this Saturday, which I know the Las Vegas Aviators are one win away from reaching that point, so that would be cool to see the farm going on. But there's still a lot of baseball left for playoff-wise, rookie-wise, and it's just a great time of the year right now with everything going on, and it's just been great so far being able to experience covering from a prospect standpoint for the first time in my career, and it's just been fantastic to see a lot of these players come up through the minors and make an impact at the major league level.
All righty, don't be a stranger this offseason. We're going to be calling you.
I'll be waiting, man. I'll be waiting.
All right, good luck with this issue. It's going to be really special. Take care, Jesus. Be well.
Thanks so much, Chris.
That is awesome stuff. I got to tell you a quick story that literally just happened as my papers fly away. Hogan Harris' father is here from Louisiana.
Is that who that was? Okay.
And we just had Hogan Harris on yesterday. And, of course, what we do is we highlight a player here on A's Cast Live, and then we play part of it on NBC that you hear on A's Cast and you get to see on NBC Sports California. His dad came up to start talking. He knows that I've been a big, vocal proponent of Hogan Harris ever since he really started doing well. A draft pick by the A's, had that monster game against the Astros when they were one of the best teams of baseball, and we hadn't seen him start again. And I've been like, what's up with that? And then now seeing I like Hogan. I think Hogan has got stuff, and I think he can get outs and help us in a lot of ways. So I've said that over the years. I've liked Hogan Harris. His father wanted to thank me and started to cry. And you start to realize how many, like when you guys were in Pittsburgh and family was there, how many of our guys' parents listen or watch the shows. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, the family members of the players who support us. We got the players back. We got your kids back. We got your husbands back, your brothers back. We got these guys. That's what we do. And it was a very touching moment with Hogan Harris's father. It makes it really worth what we do.
Yeah.
At the same time, I have Nate in my ear going, got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
As we're getting emotional here, I got Nate saying, wrap it up.
Really, really appreciate it. And also I got to talk with Jeff Kurtz, Nick Kurtz's dad in Pittsburgh and Boston. That was cool. He's a P1, as they say in the industry of our program.
To all the family members, thank you. Thank you for the support. It means a lot. Coming up next, the pitching Dr. Scott Emerson right here on A's Cast Live.
ESPN's Paul Hembekides praised the A's young lineup, calling it one to watch while on A's Cast Live with Towny.
I have sure been noticing, and as I go to my Twitter timeline, and I looked at a tweet that I sent out at 11:37 a.m. Eastern on July 31st, the day of the Major League Baseball trade deadline, a tweet that has seen nearly 1 million views. As you may have seen, all I did was list any number of promising young players in the A's either lineup or system with their attached age, and this is something that people very clearly resonated with because I list here Leo DeVries, Nick Kurtz, Max Muncy, Jacob Wilson, Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, Denzel Clark, Shea Langoliers, and Brent Rooker, all of whom are 30 years of age or considerably younger. And so what I am telling you, my friend, is that the A's are building a freaking Leviathan. the A's lineup within the course of the next 3 years is going to be considered one of the 5 best in baseball. And right now you might say that their numbers are being inflated slightly or considerably by the fact that they play in a hitter-friendly ballpark. Last time you and I spoke, I believe I told you I expected to play small, and it most certainly has. However, you can even adjust what the A's are doing by ballpark, and you still clearly see Nick Kurtz hitting out of his ever-loving mind, and Jacob Wilson before the injury doing the exact same thing. So by no means am I willing to sit here and say that these guys are merely a product of their environment. No. This A's lineup is for real. It is ascending, and by the time you guys wind up where you ultimately wind up, I think we're talking about one of the very best lineups in all of baseball once these guys reach their prime collectively.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast. A's Director of Player Development, Ed Sprague, joined Towny on A's Cast Live to discuss watching Leo DeVries play and what really wows him.
His swing in the on-deck circle is exactly like his swing in the game. You know, some guys' on-deck circle swing is a reminder of what they're trying to do, swing down the ball or swing up on the ball. His is just perfect balance. His lower half is balance. He talks about his lower half balance. He sees the ball really well. His takes are really good, you know, and that's a good indication of how you're seeing the ball. He takes to the zone. He can check off pitches, and it's very similar from both sides. You know, I mean, I saw him probably a little more from the left than I did the right. Not that I've seen a ton, but it looks good. You know, I joked to David. I said, you may have just traded for Juan Soto, you know, so, you know, I hope that brings out to be true. And I know that's high praise on the kid, but in a small sample size, there was certainly a lot to like.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
A's Cast Live continues from West Sacramento. Here's Chris Townsend.
Did you order our covers yet, Baseball America?
I put an ask in for a. We're employees.
You better order it because I want a copy of that.
Yeah, I ordered a few, and I also asked for a couple because we're.
When is the last time
I paid for anything? It's been a while.
That's that. But when's the last time someone was such the rookie of the year that it's already announced? It's a joke. The gambling people have taken it off the board. You can't even gamble on it anymore. When's the last time this has happened? Someone was this like, dude, it was Shohei.
Maybe Pete Alonso in 2019 when he hit the 50 home runs, but he hit 54 or whatever it was.
Judge hit 50-something.
Judge in 2017. Maybe going back there. I mean, I'm trying to think who's like a unanimous rookie recently that was like had a huge year. Ichiro in 2001.
No, there was debate.
Well, he won the MVP. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there was like this has been over.
Pretty much, yeah. Now the bit more interesting thing is.
But I mean, still, that's been a while. I mean, Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge have been playing for years. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the year winners. Just to see, go back and see who some of the guys were.
And by the way, Ichiro shouldn't have been MVP that year.
Maybe Skeens in the National League last year.
Who finished runner-up?
Actually, wasn't Jackson Merrill who finished second?
That was a good debate. No, that wasn't an out. Yeah, no, that wasn't out.
The year before that, it was
because you could make a case Jackson Merrill should have won. He was an everyday player for the whole season. Skeens was baby. That was just a popularity thing. Skeens should not have been Rookie of the Year. Jackson Merrill should have been.
That's not true.
Thank you, Mike Gundy. Skeens is going to be a Cy Young Award winner this year. So, and then
which I have no problem with that. I'm just saying Jackson Merrill played center field for a playoff team.
And then Skeens will be a Dodger next year.
And Skeens would go 5 innings and they pull him on a team that wasn't trying to win.
Last starts tonight. He's going to try to shut the Reds out of the postseason.
I mean, you as a Pirate fan even agreed with that.
Yeah, I did. I thought it should be Merrill too.
Yeah.
So in the American League, the last few winners were Luis Heel, Gunnar Henderson, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, and Kyle Lewis of the Mariners. That's 2020 through last year. National League, Skeens, Corbin Carroll, Michael Harris II, Jonathan India, and Devin Williams, the former Yankee closer. Then he's a closer. Now he's not the closer. Whatever they have.
He ain't the closer.
Yeah. Then Pete Alonso is the year before that. The years in 19, the rookies of the year were Yordan Alvarez of the Astros and Pete Alonso. Two pretty good
Yordan
rookies.
came on.
Yeah. He had a really good 80 game.
Yeah.
They were comparing his stretch that he had to what Nick Kurtz was doing.
That's what I'm saying. I think that might actually be the good comp is Yordan and Nick Kurtz. We always want to put a first base, Jim Thome at first base, but Yordan, we remember Yordan came up, you're like, oh my God, who is this monster who also makes a lot of contact and hits for average?
And he apparently wasn't the guy that the Dodgers wanted to trade. They wanted to trade a different Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
They traded him for Josh Fields back in 2016. And we all know how that worked out.
But yeah, it's like, one of the biggest problems, we didn't have Yordan. We now have our Yordan against their Yordan, but they don't have their Yordan.
Yeah.
Do you see the notes? By the way, Nick Kurtz has killed the Houston Astros. 514, 13 extra base hits, 15 RBIs, 13 runs. The most extra base hits by any player against a team this year is his, and he's only played in 8 games against them.
Incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah. All right, our last installment of 2025 here on A's Cast Live with the pitching coach, Scott Emerson. He'll join us during the World Series coverage, but our last one for the regular season. I hope everybody enjoys. It's time now for the pitching doctor right here on A's Cast Live. Scott Emerson is with us, our final edition from the ballpark in West Sacramento. Kind of sad because you are truly one of my favorite guests throughout the season. We learn so much. I think the fans get to learn so much, and you really give. It's one thing when someone shows up and doesn't give a whole lot of answers. You do give answers, and you teach people about the art of pitching. So I'm going to speak for the entire fan base. We are going to miss you.
Well, I appreciate it. Baseball is life is like a game of baseball. You play it every day. It's not just the moves you make, but the kind of game you play. So, every day baseball is in my blood. It's a part of my life. And I just want to give back to as many people that enjoy baseball as much as I do.
So what is the end of the year like for a pitching coach? Because obviously some guys you're trying to get innings. Some guys you want to start limiting their innings. What is it like when you start wrapping this thing up?
Yeah, I think sometimes you're looking at, what guys have left to accomplish. Can they move their statistics around? Obviously, we want to win as many games the rest of the season as we can. We want to make sure we do it healthy-wise with our guys and make sure they get through the season in good health and get prepared for the offseason. So you're still checking numbers. You're still checking things. Guys have goals. You're listening to their goals and what they have. And just trying to really finish off the season on a positive note.
I like to hear that. I like that guys have goals.
Yeah, our guys, there's a lot of guys, appearances, guys that want to have some strikeouts, their strikeout to walk ratio, things that they, went into the season trying to accomplish. And, I like to listen to see what they have. We got a couple guys that could get their ERA a little bit lower under a certain number. And if we can give them a certain number of innings, that would be great as well.
All right. Since we're talking about appearances, right out of the gate, to me, that's Jeffrey Springs. I am so proud of him. I think back to being in the dugout in Mesa, Arizona, seems like so long ago, spring training. And he talked about wanting to have 30 starts. And you're like, man, you've only taken the ball 10 times in 2 years. You thought that was kind of a lofty thing. And to now have him, because I'm going to count, even when you guys use the opener for him, I'm going to count those. I mean, he's gone to that mark. And to think that he got well over 30 starts, I believe you have to be really proud of him for that.
Yeah, 171 plus innings, I believe. He took the ball and post up all season for us. To be able to do that from a guy coming off of Tommy John surgery. And then obviously you get a year of rehab, and then doing it the next following season is important. And just to get him through the year, get him through the season and doing what he did was tremendous. And, a guy, you're talking about a guy who's really serious about his craft and understanding what he likes to do, how he likes to do it, is something that you respect.
No doubt. No doubt. One guy that brings, I know, a twinkle to your eye, kind of like a star pupil right now. Just how excited are you about Luis Morales? I saw that you guys allowed him to go a little bit longer than we thought he was going to his last start. But just talk about the future, the stuff, and who this kid is.
Yeah, I think, last game, he was, pretty good through 5, but hey, man, let's try to go out there and get through this 6th.
I love that.
Me too. Yeah. I was like, let's just see what this guy's made of. Sometimes you just got to see what a guy is made of. And he went out there and had a tremendous 6th inning, got through the 6th inning. And, the sky's the limit for this guy. I think once, he's one of his favorite pitchers. A great story is Dan Hubbs was working in our minor leagues, went down to the Dominican and saw him in the Dominican. And Morales pointed and tapped his chest and said, me DeGrom. And that's something that we've always remembered, that this guy wants to be the best. So, in our work and the things that we talk about is say, hey, this is what DeGrom does really well. This is what we got to do. If you want to be DeGrom, this is what we got to do. We got to execute pitches. We got to command pitches a little bit better. When he does that, he's going to be really good. The arsenal is elite. His sweeper is elite. We're talking over 20 inches of horizontal break. The fastball, is up to 100 miles an hour, and I think he's got a really good changeup. Now, can we get all 3 pitches better? Yeah, we can execute all 3 pitches a little bit better. And once those execution of those pitches become better, he gets better. But how is he going to execute those pitches better? He's going to execute those pitches better by just controlling himself, control the controllables, and that's controlling the way he moves, the way he gets down the slope, the way he stays on his front leg, and the way he lead leg blocks into that catapult and staying through the strike zone and not getting too much side to side.
I'm sure back in the day as a big lefty, you would have loved him in Steve Carlton, but that just wasn't in the cards. What's interesting that you bring up about—
I appreciate that. I wish it was in the cards.
Or Larry Bird. It just wasn't in the cards.
Wasn't in the cards.
Great.
I'm just Scott Emerson.
Great basketball player, Mr. Arizona right here.
Yeah, I wish there.
When I think of someone saying you want to be Jacob deGrom, what's different about now is you now can call up the data and say, well, this is exactly what Jacob deGrom does. Years ago, I want to be Nolan Ryan. Well, all you had was video. Now you guys have specific numbers to say, well, this is exactly what deGrom does. And nobody in the history of, since we've been tracking these things, throws harder and more accurately than Jacob deGrom, correct?
Yeah, that's what I talk about the execution part. Now, how can we get Morales to execute more is, by the way, he's repeating his delivery on a consistent basis if he wants to be anywhere near what Jacob deGrom does. And deGrom hits the corners. He's able to hit the corners with elite velocity. We all love velocity and we all love command. And right now, Morales has elite stuff. We get him to have that elite command working on the way he moves. The sky's the limit for him.
Before we get to your bullpen, which has been absolutely fantastic ever since July, you can even go to parts of June. When you look at starters, and you're going to talk to you because you got certain guys that are hurt, obviously, and then you got these other guys, whether we're going to talk like JT Gann or Morales or Severino or Springs. What do you say to them? Is there like an exit meeting, and do you give them a game plan of what you want to see them work on in the offseason?
Yes, most definitely. Dan Hubbs and I are formulating a game plan of some drill work that we think they need to do. Ethan Stewart is our biomechanist. Miles is our data guy. So we're talking with them. Josh Cuffey, our strength and conditioning coach. We're talking with everybody. We're formulating a game plan. We're making them for lack of a term sheet that they have that they'll go home with that has it pinpointed exactly what we want them to be doing from a delivery standpoint to how that plays with their pitch metrics, how it plays with drills to make their delivery better. So they're all going to be sent home with some sort of package.
I remember JP Sears said, yeah, it's about a week, maybe a week. And then I started throwing again. So some guys want to throw all winter long. Some guys don't. Do you have any say in that, or is that kind of a personal preference for them?
Well, it's kind of a personal preference. We do put together a 10-week throwing program that generally starts December 1st. It includes 10 bullpens leading into spring training. You're going to get at least 2 bullpens in spring training. You're going to get at least 1 batting practice before a game. We do have a batting practice that's built into the off season, but there are some guys that like to throw more. And then there's some of the veterans, you're trying to persuade them to throw less. And we had some guys that threw year round last year that we're going to try to slow slow them down a little bit more this year. And some guys we might ask, hey, I think we should only throw 6 bullpens. But, in the age of technology, when you can find ways to get better through technology, guys want to go to the facility and they want to go to the lab and they want to get to work. So it's about working smarter, not harder. And if they want to work and do more throwing, I'd rather be on the page with them and put together a program together, because they're going to do it behind your back anyways. That's what great athletes, everybody wants to go work and try to get better anyways. So I'd rather be a part of the solution and the problem than just having guys do stuff behind your back.
It's just a reality. They're gonna go switch swings and pitches, and they're gonna come to spring training and I got a gyro something.
Well, that's the thing. You want to make sure, right? Our minor league development guys, come up through our system. Our minor league pitching coaches, our pitching coordinator have done a great job of getting these guys, to come up here and compete, right? So, all of a sudden you get a guy saying, hey, I want to redo my this, I want to redo my that. And you just spent 4 years with a guy doing something, and you got to the big leagues by doing it this way. So you got to be communicative and have some sort of collaboration with these guys in the offseason. You don't want a guy, you remember years ago, Barry Zito signs with the San Francisco Giants and shows up and has a totally different delivery than the Giants just paid him on. Right. So some of these guys, when they do something totally different, you need to know about it. Guy, hey, I want to go a lower arm slot. Okay. But realize this, you may be a totally different pitcher than you are. And then what's good about, they're throwing at their facilities is most of these facilities, our major league guys are have TrackMan, or they have Rapsodo. So they're sending in some data so we can really, dive into their performance in the off season as well. And there's guys that live in ranges where Dan Hubbs and I and Josh Cuffey, who more so Cuff travels the country with our athletic trainers, Ryan Schulman and Jeff Collins, they go out and see guys. So, I'll go see a guy if I have to, but, we want to know exactly what they're doing in the offseason.
It's like if I came back next year with a shaved head, did PEDs, I'm now 240 pounds, we might have a problem.
Yeah, they might be looking for Saxey and Shooty Babbitt to do the show.
But athletes are always going to try and get better. It's just important to have that communication with each other, to work on it together. So if I'm going to some pitch lab and I'm going to do whatever pitch shaping and whatever we're going to do, as long as you're involved.
Yeah, you want them to be on the same page. And that's what I always talk about, the third party facilities. Hey man, reach out, call these guys, get everybody on the same page. The worst thing that we all can do is miscommunication with the guy. Give them 2 different directions. Look, one thing I know, they get paid by the A's, right? So, they should be on our program and have an idea of what our expectations are for them to come back to next year. I'm okay with trying something new. It's in our human nature. But I can also say, some of the guys need to make major league pitches right now and not Hall of Fame pitches. We're talking about guys wanting to back whip, 2-seamers, front door cutters, and throw all these assortment of pitches when they just can't throw it in the box yet. Learn to throw it in the box, master who you are first, and then we can take it to a whole nother level.
Well, you and Dan Hubbs, there should be some serious kudos going your way, because what you've done with the bullpen, it doesn't matter if we go back to June, July, since the trading deadline, the way the bullpen has remade itself, how guys went down, found themselves, and came back up, how you structured a bullpen that was basically, hey, we're not doing roles. We're going to be a bullpen where you show up every single day, be prepared to pitch if you can go, and get outs, and you could go more than 3 outs. You could go more than 1 inning, and these guys have flourished in this environment. Is this something that's sustainable and you might be looking to do next year, or would you rather get back to closer, setup guy, and everybody kind of fills in?
Well, you can't forget our skipper, Mark Kotze. Each and every day before the game, we sit in Kotz's office and we go over the game plan and trying to put our pitchers in the best situations for them to pitch in each and every game. I think, as far as the closer role goes, if you're looking at data in today's game and you're looking at what some of the best teams roll out there, they might be throwing their best reliever in the 7th inning per that run. We call it a 3-batter run. So, of course, you would like to have a closer who's a dominant closer. If you get a guy like Mason Miller at the back end of the bullpen, or somebody like that that has a proven track record as a closer, that's a different story. When you have guys that we got right now that haven't had that proven track record, but they're succeeding at the back end. Michael Kelly has saved recently. Hogan Harris has saved recently. Ferguson's had some saves recently. Will Sterner get some more saves in the opportunities next year. I think what we've at least done is build a foundation of guys that we trust. And when you got guys that you trust down there, it's a lot better than when you don't have anybody that you trust in that bullpen.
Yeah, we had Hogan Harris on here yesterday, and it's a total mindset, right? Like all of a sudden he talked about with the biomechanics, and it's helping him throw harder. And now he's accepted that I'm not I could go back to starting, but he's really he's liking the adrenaline rush, the juice that he's getting from being able to close some games out and come in some meaningful innings. It's to watch guys embrace the roles. And if you're not going to get the amount of innings that we're used to from starters, somebody's got to get them. And just having one inning guys ends up being trouble. I love the fact you've let everybody know, hey, you could go more than one inning.
Yeah, I love that too. I think that anytime that you get a guy that can go out there and pitch 2 and even 3 innings at a time is much better for your club than a guy that's just a 1-inning guy who comes in and blows and goes and gets out of the game in 1 inning. So, guys that can throw multiple innings really help out your ball club, especially the guys that can't get 7-8 innings as starters. Our goal as our starters are right to go as hard as you can, as long as you can. And a lot of the scoreboard dictates, when relievers come in the game.
One thing I'd like to see out of spring training, I don't know if it's old school, but so much I hear it's early. We can't pitch, guys. It's early. I remember back in the day, spring training, we saw starters leaving spring training going 6-7 innings. So when they started the season, they were ready to give you innings. Because to me, when the bullpen got hot early and you start relying on the bullpen, then, is it possible we can maybe get a little old school and get guys more prepared, starters, to give you more innings out of the gate?
Well, our guys are 105 pitches ready. So the first start is usually what the last start of spring training was, and that's generally right around 105 pitches. So if they come out of the gate and they go 105 pitches their first start, I'm all right with 120 pitches the next start. But the one thing that we got to remember, Towny, is that it's not about the pitches right now. I think we've bashed on baseball as being like the pitch count's too low. The pitch count's too low. In reality, what you're looking at is you're not looking at pitch count. You're looking at the third time through.
True.
You're just looking at statistics. Statistics, I didn't make it up. The stats tell you third time through the batting order is not really good for pitching, right? That's just factual. And
that just didn't come out of thin air for you?
That just didn't come out of thin air.
There's actual data?
If we're gonna sit here and say starters don't go 120 pitches anymore, that's because we got better data that tells us that after the third time through, it's not that easy for pitchers.
Well, my question would be
if your bullpen is fresh and your starter isn't good, after a third time for sure, and your bullpen's fresh, why wouldn't you go to the bullpen? So. But if you're in a game that you're winning and that you got a big time lead in and he's at 96 pitches through 7, of course I want him to go back out there for the 8th.
What scares me early is that everybody gets comfortable with that, and then all of a sudden you hit May and bullpen's torched.
Yeah, and that's what happened to us this year.
That's exactly what happened to you.
Exactly
your bullpen got hot. You guys utilized the bullpen. It was smart. But all of a sudden, then they were done.
Yeah.
So now you have the combination of we don't want the starters to go through the lineup a third time, and we got a bunch of guys who are torched to the bullpen. It was a bad combination.
Yeah, at that point in time, it just hit us, and we tried to win as many games as we human possibly could early. I think we were 20-17, boom.
20-16, yeah.
20-16, boom, hit a skid where some guys were worn out, and it just happened. And also, that's also like. Preaching to our relievers, this is what big leaguers do. They pitch in 65, 75 games a year. That's not easy either. That's why it's important right now. That's why these guys are getting paid a lot of money is, hey, you got to post up every other day or every third day, sometimes back-to-back days. And for me, that's the word big leaguer. Is he a big leaguer? What entails a big league reliever? A big league reliever takes the ball more times than not. You take a look at Yasmiro Petit when we had Petit. I'd go up to Petit. I said, every day I would go, how you doing? And he'd give me one of these. It was like of 162 games, he gave this to me 159 times. And then one time he gave me one of these. And I knew, okay, this guy needs a rest. But that's what they get paid on. Let's get after it. Let's be strong. Let's be physical, and let's be able to pitch.
All right. What will you do to decompress? Any off-season plans? You taking the wife on a trip? Walk the dog every day. What are we going to do back in North Carolina?
Yeah, the dog and I are going to be in the man cave. Maybe talking to you some. We'll be 10 toes up watching some college football, some NFL, some college basketball, some NBA basketball. I'm really excited. I really like watching the playoffs. I can't wait for next year for us to be in that run. The playoff baseball is great, and the atmosphere. Unfortunately, we haven't been in it in a couple years, but I thought last year's playoff was great for baseball. I enjoyed watching it. I actually could watch it. Sometimes you don't want to watch it because you're really wishing it was you. But when you love the game, you want to watch the game. I find myself watching games on TV that are Winter League games. I'm watching games from Japan in the off season. I'm just trying to watch baseball as much as we can. We got an unbelievable system that Rob Neighborhouse, one of our assistant GMs, has created, and I get to watch our guys. I'll rerun watching our guys and texting with Hubsy, texting with our data team, Ethan Stewart. Hey, what can we do better on this guy? Mike McFerrin, our pitching coordinator. Hey, what do you got on that guy? So baseball just doesn't leave me in the off season. It might slow down a tad, but taking the wife out to dinners and definitely walking the dog.
Well, I'll tell you what, you are an integral part of what we do here with A's Cast Live. I can't thank you enough. Our relationship over the years, your honesty, and what you teach all of us every homestand is something super special. So you deserve a nice rest. Have a great off season. And once again, thank you for everything you do for myself and Cody and everybody with A's Cast.
Well, thanks for having me.
The pitching doctor right here, Scott Emerson on A's Cast Live.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.